Welcome to this week's podcast. Barton and I are very happy to be with you today to share with you more about what's going on in the business world, and especially in the business world where XR and virtual technology, virtual reality type technology, are actually being used today, not in the future. When the business world looks at this whole concept of VR, XR, and MR, and or the metaverse, as Mark Zuckerberg talks about it, they see its potential, but in reality, there are leading companies who are just jumping on it immediately and starting to do something. And when Barton and I created our metaverse site that we've talked about before, our metaverse research site, we explained there that there would be a lot of companies using it, and we actually have put about 150 case studies. And these are case studies of companies that are actually using XR and VR and metaverse technology and virtual technology today in all types of business applications. And each week when we're with you, we want to highlight a very specific one and a company that is actually using it and has proven that this is not a tomorrow technology, it's a today technology. So, Barton, I'm going to turn it over to you for the case study of this podcast.
Thank you, Tim. We're actually at 170 case studies, and we continue to add on a daily basis. But today I would like to share with our listeners an incredible story of how Walmart is leveraging the metaverse to support and expand its digital innovation leadership. Now, let me start by introducing Walmart. Many of you know it was founded in 1962 by the American entrepreneur Sam Walton. And Walmart today is an American multinational retail corporation. It operates in 11,700 retail units in 28 countries, as well as multiple e-commerce sites. Last year, 2022, Walmart had global sales of $573 billion, making it one of the largest, if not the largest company in sales in the world. It employed more than 2 million global employees, which they call associates. Each week, approximately 230 million customers visit Walmart, which makes Walmart fertile grounds for testing innovative ideas, including the metaverse and digital innovations that I'll be talking about in this case study. So the Walmart metaverse story starts actually 7 years ago, in 2016, when Walmart faced an issue related to onboarding new associates, particularly training these associates on how to manage complex customer situations. For a long time, Walmart had relied on traditional classroom instructors who gave lectures and quizzes, or even on static online courses that associates click through at their own pace. But neither of these formats adequately addressed the challenges of coping with certain situations, like dealing with Black Friday, which you may know, of course, is the huge sale that takes place throughout the US the day after the Thanksgiving holiday. And while Black Friday generates a lot of sales for Walmart, it's also a nightmare for the staff. There's hundreds of shoppers, dozens of various discounts and offers, long lines, multiple claims and complaints, cash registers goes on strike, and so on. So readying for Black Friday is already challenging to train an experienced associate on some of the nuances, but it leaves absolutely no physical space and very little time to train new associates for this important event. So to address the Black Friday training challenge, Walmart created a virtual reality or VR-based immersive learning program, so a formal program, to better prepare associates for day-to-day jobs and to provide these associates with real-world scenarios, including Black Friday, where the associates can role play and run through hyper-real practice scenarios to prepare for situations before they happen, while also helping the associates to develop critical customer service skills, including empathy, inclusion, and diversity. Walmart VR training module allows trainees, for example, to experience the chaos and pressure that associates face on Black Friday in the stores, even online, without having to go through it in real life. They use the VR headsets to immerse the trainees in the store experience. And while they're in the store experience, the instructor talks to them about what's happening, points out where the associates did the right thing, and what to watch out for. Now, Walmart teaches this Black Friday VR class, as well as 45 other VR-based scenario classes in both its 200 learning academies, which are part of the training centers attached to the larger Walmart stores, as well as in smaller Walmart locations. And the VR training programs get created for different Walmart positions and different occupations, taking into account not all Walmart associates have the necessary technical background. Tim, I think you wanted to mention something at this point about a personal experience with Walmart.
Well, it's more of an anecdote. This is really kind of fascinating. When Walmart began rolling this out to these associates, they would use these VR headsets and they would love them. And they would ask them, can we keep them? Can we take them with us? Because they not only loved the actual experience, but they actually loved the product and they wanted to take it home. So I find that kind of fascinating because what it did is it endeared the company to them in the sense that here it was Walmart giving them a great tool, but hey, we could use it for other things too.
And that's actually a part of Walmart's philosophy of taking care of their associates well above and beyond the traditional Call of Duty. But it's a great story. In fact, the results of the Walmart VR onboarding and training sessions have been truly outstanding. I'll give you some metrics. So the trainees who take the VR training courses report a 30% higher satisfaction rating compared to trainees that attend the more traditional training courses. And the VR trainees score higher on content memory tests 70% of the time. Trainees also demonstrated a 10 to 15% higher rate of knowledge retention versus those with traditional training. The training also takes less time. So what might require a traditional 90-minute classroom training session can typically be completed in 20 minutes using VR training. So shorter, better results, bigger impact. And this all translates into higher employee loyalty, since the associates appreciate the investment that Walmart is making in their training, better employee confidence, happier employees, higher customer satisfaction, and needless to say, millions of dollars of productivity savings for Walmart. I mean, really, talk about a win-win scenario. But the Walmart metaverse story does not stop with this VR training. So I'd like to spend a couple of minutes and just bring you up to date. In June of 2022, so last year, Walmart announced a new View in Your Space feature. And this feature, similar to the IKEA Place app, works with, in this case, 300 compatible furniture and home decor items in the Walmart app. And it allows the users to view using augmented reality or AR version of a desk or a sofa or a chair and put it in their living room using the smartphone screen and camera. And users can drag and drop these items where they might be positioned with dimensions visible on the screen to see how they all fit within that particular space. In addition to that, Walmart now offers a virtual try-on app for eyeglasses through its Sam's Club's optical store, and that's just another example of a great metaverse app. Walmart has also adopted a game-changing technology that they call Choose My Model, and that brings the in-store fitting room experience to online shoppers for the more than 270,000 items that are found in Walmart's portfolio of exclusive, elevated, and private brands. Now, a couple of months after that, in September, Walmart took a huge leap forward when they entered the metaverse with two experiences aimed at younger shoppers via the online gaming platform Roblox. The first metaverse experience is called Walmart Universe of Play, and that's where the Roblox community can explore toy worlds to earn coins for virtual goods or compete challenges to build a personal trophy case or unlock secret codes, kind of in the gaming world. And the second metaverse experience is called Walmart Land, and that provides an immersive experience that includes a virtual store of merchandise, often referred to as Virch, for users' avatars, as well as an obstacle course for items from the retailer's Gen Z-focused beauty brands. In the words of Walmart's chief marketing officer, he said that the company's Roblox strategy is a customer experience and engagement initiative. Customer experience and engagement initiative. He goes on to suggest that Roblox is one of the fastest growing and largest platforms in the metaverse, that Walmart knows the next generation of shoppers, particularly Gen Z, are spending loads of time there. So Walmart wanted to focus on creating new and innovative experiences that excite Gen Z, something Walmart had already been doing in the communities, something that the Gen Zs had already done in the communities where they live, and now they could do that in the virtual world where they play, and Walmart was right there with them. And just to bring us right up to date, Tim, in February of this year, 2023, Walmart filed additional metaverse trademarks to promote digital assets across its products and services. These trademarks will push its Sam's Club brand and logo, including non-fungible tokens, NFTs, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies. So the patents are saying suggest customers will have access to VR healthcare, crypto trading, brokerage, and financial services via a metaverse platform complete with digital currency, native token, and an online community. These are just, for me anyhow, more examples of Walmart's admirable digital innovation leadership. Let me give you a couple of final thoughts, Tim. What I like most about the Walmart metaverse story is the entrepreneurial spirit regarding the metaverse. Walmart has acknowledged that some of their metaverse ideas will become products or services that make it to customers. Some of their ideas they'll test, iterate, and learn from, and some of the ideas will fail outright and they'll pull the plug, in the true sense of entrepreneurship. So for me, Walmart epitomizes what you and I have been talking about and evangelizing over the past 18 months, namely, now is the time for all companies to create a metaverse strategy and to begin to gain experience through both metaverse prototyping as well as implementation, trial, and error. In closing, while many known brands have or are making investments in the metaverse, I'm not aware of anyone with the size, scale, or influence of Walmart, the world's biggest company. And that makes Walmart's metaverse play one that provides significant validation for the metaverse, and one that all retailers and brands will have to follow closely, both for its competitive impact as well as for user response. And as I alluded to earlier on, it extends Walmart's digital innovation leadership well beyond the retail sector alone and begins to put into perspective the art of the possible using metaverse today.
You know, Barton, as I listen to this particular case study, and I've studied it as well, it strikes me on two very significant areas. Number one, Walmart is already a leader in retail, but they're not satisfied with that. They are actually, and this kind of surprises me given the fact that, you know, the company itself is really just focused on moving goods, but they are more concerned about the customer experience and the service, right? In the discussions we've had and worked on in our boot camps and things that we've talked about with customers, is this whole issue of using more advanced technology to manage everything from back end to front end to customer service to sales, etc., is really a significant issue going forward. Because if you're not doing something even today, your customers, I mean, your competitors are going to basically outrun you. And you think about what Walmart's doing right now, it's got to make the guys like Target, and Kohl's and who else scratching their head and going, wait a minute, we can't let them keep moving ahead this fast and, siphoning our customers to them. And I think that kind of overall thinking is really quite important for all customers right now, or all companies. Is if they are not at least doing what you said, creating pilot programs, doing the research, starting initiatives on this now, their competitors are going to basically swipe their customers. And I can't re-emphasize this hard enough. And you and I have been pushing this with customers for, like, as you mentioned, over 18 months. Is this they're even though they may question the long-term focus and capabilities of what metaverse is because of so many definitions, the reality is virtualized technology being used in business is going on today. And if you're not involved with it within your own companies to start prototyping or thinking it through and strategically putting things in place, the competition is going to basically take your customers.
Well, you raise very important points. Let me make just a couple of observations, Tim. On the Walmart side, yep, they are the leading retailer, and no, they're not satisfied, and that's healthy. And what has impressed me particularly is their move into Roblox, which is a gaming platform for Gen Z. And so what they've said is, we cannot rest on our laurels. We cannot rest on our past. And think about it, $573 million company. I mean, we're talking a very serious, large company. And so they're not resting on their laurels. Sorry, $573 billion company. They're not resting on their laurels. And they've said, look, if we're going to maintain happy customers, happy Gen Z customers, and others in between, then they really have to be on top of the technology. You've made another point. They're not only using, and this is not the purpose of today's podcast, but Walmart has done an incredible job using technology in the supply chain and all of the Internet of Thing technologies and many other technologies to drive efficiency throughout the entire supply chain all the way through to the customer. So they're a great example of a company that has grabbed on the technology early, tried it in many different ways, sometimes very successful, sometimes not successful, but always keeping in mind, happy customers, lower prices, customer engagement, good service, etc. Now, often in technology and certainly in marketing, things typically start on the B2C, business to consumer side, and find their way over to the business to business side. And you alluded to the fact that, if you were Target or Kohl's, you'd be thinking about what is Walmart doing. But I also would argue if you are, a large manufacturing company, let's just take ExxonMobil, or let's just take, other large corporations, Siemens as an example, you're also following this, because what we know is as follows. When a person on the retail side uses these technologies, they come to expect them in everything they do. So at night, they're a gamer on Roblox, but during the day, they're a procurement officer at ExxonMobil. And so they're expecting to take the technologies that are available and apply them to their new job. And you're seeing that in recruitment today, where Gen Zs are saying to all different employees, what technology do you use before they're willing to join the company? So I think it's a B2C play, but I think we're seeing it on B2B. And I'd just like to reinforce the importance of creating your own disruption rather than being disrupted by a competitor. And all you got to do is ask BlackBerry what happened when Apple took the lead in technology, or ask Blockbusters what happened when Netflix came out with a whole new streaming technology, or ask Borders what happened when Amazon came out with their very effective technology play. And ask any of the car manufacturers just how concerned they are by Tesla's use of the latest technologies and so forth. And the same thing for hotels and Airbnb. So, companies in my mind, Tim, have a choice. You need to take the lead. You need to put the stake in the ground. You need to do, as you've suggested, prototyping and early types of implementations for seeing how it works, doing research consistently to know what's going on. And you need to do that yourself rather than being the recipient on the other end of that by a competitor.
Yeah, and I do think that some of the companies are starting to get this. The tragedy at the moment is the negativity that's been thrust around the term metaverse because it's just hard to define. But as the podcast focus it's really about using virtual technology in business, not necessarily some weird metaverse concept. These are really practical business applications that are saying we've got to go from what we have today to integrating virtual technology. And I would say too, to keep in mind that right now everybody's kind of, shifting over to AI. AI is going to be very important. Don't kid me. I don't kid myself there, because it's going to have a dramatic impact on every aspect of business. But at the same time, don't turn your back on the role of virtual technology. I think the developers conference that Apple's about to have in early June is going to probably reignite the interest in this. There continues to be very strong commentary that Apple will actually release their first headset. I'm still questioning that, but I do not question that Apple will probably spend a lot of time talking about AR specifically, augmented reality, and to some degree XR in their application side, because they already have created an AR software tool called ARKit. And there's over 10,000 apps in the App Store based on AR technology today that is being used on iPhones and iPads. But having said that, I think the one thing we maybe want to end on today is that, yes, there's always new technology coming out, but this particular one you cannot deny has some legs. And getting into the R&D cycle, to the piloting cycle, to the research cycle now is really important, I think, for any company's future.
Tim, I would end with just reinforcing that in the Metaverse Resource Center, which Tim and I created about a year ago, a little bit more, there are now 170 use cases or case studies of companies that are using the metaverse today. I gave a case study on Procter & Gamble for business to consumer a couple of sessions ago. I gave the Siemens business to business metaverse case study in our last podcast, and today we did Walmart. I'll continue to give those type of case studies, but I strongly recommend people visit the Metaverse Resource Center. It's you can Google it, ISM Metaverse Resource Center, and there you'll find all 170 use cases. And it's cut up by industry and by your job function, so you can quickly find out what metaverse cases are relevant to sales or the biotech industry, etc. It's just a great resource, and I would encourage all of our listeners to visit the Metaverse Resource Center and have fun.
Well, thank you, Barton. We've had a good discussion again today, and to all of you listeners, have a great week. Thank you.